Hi, everybody. It's a beautiful day. And that's what this little prelude song is about, that it's a beautiful day. It's alright, it's okay. I'm gonna sit right here and enjoy this beautiful day. This easy living takes the prize. Nothing but rainbows in my skies. It's alright, it's okay, okay. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do. Yeah, yeah. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do. It's alright, it's okay. Gonna sit right here and enjoy this beautiful day. This easy living takes the prize. Nothing but rainbows in my eyes. It's alright, yeah. It's okay. It's alright, it's okay. Every little thing is working on my way. I take a deep breath and enjoy the ride. Life is on my side. It's alright, it's okay. Gonna sit right here and enjoy this beautiful day. This easy living takes the prize. Nothing but rainbows in my eyes. It's alright, oh yeah, it's okay. Sing with me if you're feeling it. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do. Whatever it is. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do. It's alright, it's okay. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do. On this beautiful day. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do. And one last time together, yeah. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. That's right. And welcome. Thank you so much. Welcome to Unity of Bon Air on a beautiful day, and welcome to our folks that are joining us on the live stream. It's gorgeous right here and in person, but we're glad you're with us. Right now, we're going to start our service the way we always do. Let us stand and affirm in song what we know to be true. God is good, and all is well. What a wonderful morning, beyond compare. I feel God's loving presence everywhere. I am filled with joy profound in a world where many miracles abound. We go. In the garden of my soul, I am happy, healed, and whole. I know that God is good and all is well. In the garden of my soul, I am happy, healed, and whole. I know that God is good and all is well. Thank you so much. Please be seated.
Good morning. It's a beautiful day, as Claudia said, here at Unity of Bon Air, and outside is beautiful. So welcome to Unity of Bon Air, where we live and express unconditional love and grow together in peace and prosperity. My name is Howard Green. I'm happy to be your service leader. I'm also a board member here at Unity. Whether this is your first time, and I think we have some first-timers, or your 100th time joining us, we are grateful for your presence and participation as we share in this special time together. We have come together as part of love's divine purpose that calls each of us forth to celebrate the connection we all share through the holy presence within and all around that we call God. In the spirit of community, we unfold in light and love all spiritual and religious gatherings and all people everywhere. We begin our time together today with a special message from the Daily Word. The Daily Word, the word today is faith. I may not be able to control what happens around me, but I'm always free to choose what happens within me. My perception determines my experience. I begin with faith. I'll say it again. I begin with faith. I choose to see the vibrant wholeness that is present even during illness. I open my heart and mind to the harmony that I know is possible even in the midst of apparent discord. When my needs appear greater than my resources, I remind myself all supply springs forth from the inexhaustible well of divine substance. I am reassured by remembering all situations are temporary, and God is greater than every circumstance. Through my faith, I align my thoughts with the divine and believe in this truth that sets me free. The scripture today is from Luke 17:6. If you had faith the size of a mustard seed, you could say to this mulberry tree, "Be uprooted and planted in the sea," and it would obey you. The affirmation today is, I'll read it once and ask you to repeat it with me twice. My faith keeps me focused on God. So together, my faith keeps me focused on God. My faith keeps me focused on God. Well, now I have the pleasure of introducing our speaker today, and he's coming through to us by live stream, by video. It's Shad Groverland. Shad Groverland was born and raised in the Unity movement under the loving wisdom and guidance of his parents, Reverend Jack and Norma Groverland. At age 12, he would become the Unity of Boulder Church sound guy, and later he carried those skills on to receive a degree in sound engineering from the University of Colorado. This degree led to a career in sound as a sound engineer, which accumulated in a 13-year position working as the head of sound and production manager for MGM Resort Corporation in Las Vegas. After a life-changing series of events in 2012, he received his own calling to the ministry, entered Unity Seminary, and was hired as minister of Unity of Las Vegas. Ordained in 2016, Reverend Shad would continue to minister in Las Vegas until 2018, when Spirit led him back to the Unity of Boulder, where he co-ministered with his sister, Reverend Thyself for almost 3 years before accepting the position he now holds as the Executive Director for Unity Worldwide Ministries in Lee's Summit, Missouri. Shad, if you're listening, welcome, and I'd like for us to give you a round of applause. So. And now I invite you to look around, whether you're here or at home, and just let the people here in the sanctuary and just feel the love as our music team sings "Surely the Presence."
Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can feel the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place.
Indeed it is. Good morning. I'm Susan Green, the other half of the Green team this morning on your platform, and I'm so glad you're here. I've met so many new visitors and returning visitors. It's very exciting to have you here, and it's exciting to have all of you on live stream as well. So I invite you now to join me to move into an opening prayer. So closing your eyes as you choose, taking a breath in, release it slowly, and just feel yourself relax. Just feeling the peace that is the truth of your being. And we move into prayer with faith. Faith that as we affirm from that place of spirit within us, that it is so. And so we just acknowledge that we, each and every one, in our divine nature, we are whole, we are healthy, we are free. And we are grateful. There's a radiant, healing substance in you. And as we take another breath, we can picture that radiance in you shining out. There's no limit. And in our powerful imagination, we can see that light shining out from each of us here, enveloping all of our loved ones, all of our friends, all of the children around the world, all people everywhere who may be experiencing traumatic situations. We picture this radiant, healing love light around all of our leaders. And we see it doing a mighty work. We unfold our earth as well into this light in gratitude for all that it provides us. And we vow, we set an intention to preserve and protect it. And there may be other names or situations that are on your heart today, family or friends. And so I invite you, if you choose, to say their names silently or aloud into this healing radiance, this healing light of love. Say them now. And we pray for each their highest and greatest good. We affirm comfort, strength, and peace for each and every one, and claim it is done. And in gratitude for the mighty healing we have claimed and that is taking place right now, we affirm together 3 times, I am grateful. Together, I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. And so it is, and amen. So we'll have more announcements later, but we have a few we want to sneak in on you before we move on with the service. And first, we want to talk about Mission Imaginable. Thank you. Well done. We've had 2 of our small groups, for those of you who are new to us, because we're having this opportunity to see each other again, whether it's on Zoom or in person. We're pulling together some small groups to reconnect, perhaps meet for the first time, and to talk about our mission here at Unity of Bon Air, which is to live and express unconditional love and acceptance. And I have a little slip of paper with all the remaining group dates and times and places. There's some here, there's some on Zoom, different times of day, and we'd love to have you join us. while we just revisit each other. It's been so long that we've been on live stream and not seeing everybody. So see me or Howard after the service and pick up your list of dates and sign up. Also, put June 26th on your calendar. We're going to be swinging into summer in the parking lot. Okay, you'll hear more about it, but right now, just get it on your calendar. It'll be a lot of fun, bigger and better than those before it. Also, thank you for wearing your masks this morning. We are going to give it another couple of weeks, then our opening committee will meet again. Also, that will be in line with Governor Northam's, we hope, we claim with faith, reopening lots of things back up, or everything back up on May 28th. The opening committee will meet the first week in June again. And there are so many people here and so many of you on live stream. We do hope that we'll get you back in here in person. Because so many of you are back with us, we are going to, at least for the time being, not have Zoom fellowship coffee after the service. And maybe it won't be long, we'll have some kind of fellowship with food. And real coffee. And that would be fun. We could do that. So we'll look forward to those things happening. And now, I believe we have a congregational song.
All right, would you guys like to stand? We're going to sing "We Come Together in the Name of Love." 1, 2, here we go. Look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love of this sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the love in you. Now feel the love in this sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of God and each other. Yeah, yeah. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste and I love you too. Feel the love lift in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. Oh, in the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. Yeah, in the name of love. Yeah.
All right, remain standing as we join together to affirm our statement of truth. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God, the omnipotent good. And now we will join and sing the Lord's Prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen.
Please be seated. And now we will have a message titled Know Thyself from... Oh, sorry, yes. Thank you for reminding me.
All right, this is one I think that you'll remember.
In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Ooh. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. This is how I start my day. Knowing good is on the way. I am claiming perfect health, love and laughter, friends and wealth. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. With conviction undeterred, and the power of the spoken word, undefined, break the shackles of my mind. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. That's right. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Oh, 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 oh. Like it should when I'm focusing on my good. Life is filled with opportunity. I wonder what good is here for me. Yeah, I claim a blessing. I claim it. Ooh, I claim a blessing. How it works? I believe it. Gonna receive it. Bring it to me. Bring it on down. Give it to me. Bring it to me. Yeah, 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 yeah. I claim a blessing. One more time. Ooh, I claim a blessing.
Thank you so much. Your live audience. Cool.
I am so glad we didn't skip that. And now, Reverend Shad Groverland.
Or good afternoon or good evening, whatever time you happen to be watching this, and welcome, Unity of Bon Air. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of this experience. I want to thank your leadership team for also inviting me to be a part of this experience and share this specific talk, which is one that really speaks to and resonates with my experience in Unity. Now, if you're wondering, around me here, we are in the beautiful Fillmore Chapel on the Unity Village grounds here in Lee Summit, Missouri, where I work. So let's get started. I want to start off with something to sort of set the tone for today. Let's look at this. Know thyself. This is an ancient Greek aphorism. This is a powerful insight and will be the foundation for this entire talk as we move forward. So let that just sit in the back of your mind and germinate for a little while. We won't specifically hit that yet, but later on we will. Now I want to start by sharing with you some growing pains, or what some might even call a crisis of faith, that I experienced back around the year 2014. At the time, I was a minister at Unity of Las Vegas in Las Vegas, Nevada. And yes, there are churches in Las Vegas, Nevada, if you did not know that. And this will be a look into my spiritual process and my thinking as I went through an experience at that time in my life. Now, it all started when I attended this interfaith gathering. It was a panel discussion, and I was just part of the audience. I wasn't on the panel itself. I was just part of the audience, and I was there with my wife, Erina. Now, this was an event that happened at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Temple in Las Vegas. They were just hosting this particular event. Now, the panel included leaders from the different faiths in that area. This is from paganism, Buddhism, humanism, Sikhism, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints itself, and Christian Science. Now, let me preface what I'm about to say with this. You must also understand, as I'm approaching this event I was at, I come to events like this with a different perspective of most people. I come to an event like this with the perspective of a spiritual teacher who is always looking to expand my own awareness as well as the awareness of my community that I serve. I point that out because something interesting and unexpected came from this event. A very complicated feeling, one which I spent a lot of time trying to wrap my head around, trying to get in touch with. One that was really difficult to put my finger on, and until I spent a lot of time with it, until a while had passed, and I finally landed on describing it in this way. This is the only way I could find to describe it, which was this. What is the point of all this? Now let's roll back a bit in the story so I can try to explain where that's coming from. So there I was, sitting in the temple at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We had just been given a tour of the really amazing and beautiful grounds that they have out there. And now we're actually gathered in what would be a smaller chapel off of the main temple. So a smaller chapel, they do smaller services off of the main temple itself. We had sung a hymn together, beautiful hymn we sung together. Before the panel members had taken the stage, we were now settled in the audience. The hymn was over, all the presentations were done, the opening introductions for everyone, there we were. And the moderator opened the event with this question to be addressed by all the panelists. He said, how do you apply your religion or faith in daily life? Now, this was an insightful question with a lot of very fascinating answers to follow. Now, the first to answer was a female leader from paganism. She talked about paganism and our connection to the power of the earth and the moon and nature and oneness with all life, and the necessity for us to go out and actually connect with nature. Well, I heard this, and I thought to myself, this sounds like me. Maybe I am actually pagan. Now then, a woman from Buddhism had her turn to speak. She shared with us the importance of meditation and spiritual practice, oneness with all life, going within and connecting with our Buddha nature. I really resonated what she said as well, with what she was saying and the thoughts that she was portraying. And then I thought to myself, this sounds like me. Maybe I'm a Buddhist. Then a gentleman who was a humanist leader shared with us that humanists are atheists, but different in that they believe in an inherent goodness that permeates all humanity. He talked about how we can be good, serving people, serving our community, with or without God, with or without religion. He also emphasized that we have a duty to try to leave the planet a better place than when we came to it. Now, I really resonated with what he had to say there, and I thought to myself, this sounds like me. Maybe I'm a humanist. Now the microphone was passed along to a gentleman who spoke about what it means to be Sikh. In Sikhism, all religions are respected, and they believe that there is only one life, this life. So we must live it to the fullest by putting others first. Now, very interesting. He said we had to live it to the fullest by putting others first in every way that we can. We must fight for the underprivileged and defend equality and truth at every chance we get. Now, I really resonated with what he was saying here, and I thought to myself, yes, this sounds like me. Maybe I am Sikh. Next up was the LDS leader from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints who spoke. He talked about the necessity of service in one's community, the importance of family, dedicated worship, and spiritual structure to facilitate your spiritual growth. Well, I too value and believe in service. I believe in dedication to family, faith, spiritual structure, and how it can help you on the spiritual path. And so I thought to myself, is it possible I might be Mormon? Finally, a smiley woman from religious science spoke about how they actually embrace and support all that was said by the other panelists who spoke before her. But she also added that religious science puts an emphasis on the connection between science and religion, specifically on how science can be used to prove and support meditation, prayer, spiritual practice, and our ultimate connection to each other as one. Well, this really sounded a lot like me. And of course, I thought to myself, gosh darn, maybe I belong in religious science. Okay, so what is going on here? Here I'm having this sort of disjunct experience. I'm resonating with all these different ideologies. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, of course he would feel this way. Unity embraces the many paths to truth. That is what we are all about. You are correct. But let's crawl a bit deeper into my mind at the time so we can really get to the root of the issue, which, if you remember, I could only describe later on as this. What is the point of it all? So here I was again, sitting there, listening to the answers from the panelists. As a minister and spiritual leader myself, I was imagining myself up there on the panel as if I had been invited to be one of the panelists with them, as if I was up there about to answer this very same question. So here we are now, in my imaginations, remember, in my imagination, sitting in that audience, and I'm getting ready to explain and define unity. My turn comes around, the audience turns to look at me, and I begin to speak. And I say, unity is new thought, non-denominational, I guess. Bible, yes, but not like Bible. Jesus Christ, yes, but easy on the Jesus part. Embraces all religions, oneness for sure, much like these other religions, I guess. Oh, and prayer, meditation, affirmations, Butterworth, but not Mrs. Butterworth. Oh, Fillmore's, definitely Fillmore's, chemicalization, the village. Christianity, Christian, maybe. I heard myself give a wishy-washy, babbling response with a bunch of nice-sounding words that didn't mean much of anything when they've been put all together. They really didn't mean much of anything to anyone. Now, my words and descriptions in that moment, now we're just in my imagination again, they lacked foundation, they lacked conviction, they lacked clarity of purpose. And I was actually embarrassed to hear myself in my own head. Can you imagine that? I was embarrassed to hear myself in my own head. I honestly sat there feeling ashamed and embarrassed. The Shad I heard speaking as an imaginary panelist up there on that stage was not the Shad that I felt inside. I felt grounded, I felt concrete, I felt powerful, sure, direct, defined, and clear about unity and my relationship to it. But the descriptive words I had been given, the descriptive words I had grown up to use, the words I chose in that moment, did not translate what I felt inside. And I know this is not just something I alone have experienced. Many people throughout my ministry have come to me to ask this question, and perhaps you've pondered this question as well. How do I explain unity to someone who doesn't know what it is? How do I explain unity to someone who doesn't know what it is? They wonder, are we non-denominational, new thought, new age? Are we any different from Unitarian Universalists or religious science, science of mind, divine science, centers for spiritual living, and agape? And here's the question of all questions, asked time and time again, over and over again in my life by many others in the movement, by many other people experiencing this same question, and here it is. Are you Christian? Is unity Christianity? Now, we in Unity have struggled with this question since the inception of our movement, and believe it or not, we continue to do so today. And one of the primary reasons that traditional Christianity has not been something that we've really wanted to affiliate with, or we've struggled to have a relationship with, is that it has a pretty strong stigma or stereotype of being closed-minded, judgmental, hypocritical, dogmatic, and antiquated. And whether we agree with that or not as individuals, the perception is out there and widespread in the world today. So naturally, that is not a perception many want to have connected with unity. And there lies the reason we have spent so long struggling with our identity as Christians or not. But is this issue of our identity really whether we are Christian or not? Let's go back to this. I told you to keep it in the back of your mind. Know thyself. The question of whether we are Christian or not is really a small question. It's really a small question, one which comes up short of addressing what is really a much bigger question. This is the much bigger question. What is unity? In the beginning, our founders would quite plainly answer that unity is practical Christianity, a deeper form of spiritual, metaphysical Christianity that is rooted in practical, applicable tools for creating a better life today. And at that time, that was a perfectly good, clear, focused, rooted answer to that question. But only because there was an element they had then that we do not have now. These people, our co-founders, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. Our founders were the core of our movement. They were the pillar. They called themselves Christian. That is how they saw themselves. That is what they were. That may have been the what, but really more important is the who. Who were our founders? I would say they were two individuals authentically expressing Christ, authentically living the Christ life. And who they were, I think, is far more relevant for us today than what they were. So really the important question for us today is not what, but who. You see, my internal struggle at that interfaith event in 2014, I thought was a what problem. And I left with these questions. What is unity? What am I as a unity minister? What is the point of all this? Initially, I came to the conclusion that I am Christian, but the type of Christian Jesus intended us to be, not the type of Christian that the church later defined it to be. But now that I've had time to sit with this, I think what attracted people to unity in those early days, in the early days of our founders, wasn't necessarily the aspects of Christianity that were being taught by them, but rather the authenticity of those teaching it. The spiritual authenticity of Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. And what has happened over time is that after they passed on, the message stuck around in unity. The words stuck around in unity. The what stuck around in unity. But gradually over time, the who began to fade away. The who being spiritually authentic people living as the Christ, not just talking about the Christ. I realize now more than ever that unity is not faced with an issue of identity, but rather an issue of being. Knowing thyself is not about discovering the best words to describe you. It is about stepping into the trueness of your nature, the reality of who you are. So now I see one of the issues with calling myself a Christian is how that word is defined today. Let's bring that up. Let's see the definition of this word. Christian, a person who believes in the teachings of Jesus Christ. Well, I don't know about you, but I have had enough of people believing things that they themselves are not actually doing. They themselves are not actually living. So maybe Christian is not the best word, but for some reason or another, I can't get it out of my head. I can't just let it go. I can't get away from the fact that our founders did call themselves Christian. And they were not just believing in Christ, but they were actually living Christ. So I recently sat with this in my consciousness for a while in meditation, this issue, this struggle with the word Christianity, and something came to me. The suffix IAN popped into my mind. Those 3 letters at the end of a word, what do they mean? What is the meaning of IAN at the end of a word? Let's bring this up. They mean of, relating to, or resembling. IAN at the end of the word means in the likeness of. So really, if you break down the word Christian, there is quite a different meaning than what it has become to mean today. It's really Christian, one who is relating to, resembling in the likeness of Christ. One who is connected to Christ and showing up as Christ-like. So the word Christian, or the title Christian, or the label of Christian, really has no meaning until we are Christ-like, until we are actually living and expressing the divine essence of God within us that we in unity call Christ. The same Christ essence that permeates all things and called by many different names and many different faiths. Buddha nature, the Tao, prana, universal intelligence, flow, intuition. It is not what we are that gives a word meaning, but who we are. So no matter what word we use to define ourselves, we really need to be more concerned with who that word is calling us to be, which we have eloquently stated by Connie Fillmore, the great-granddaughter of our founders, in a letter she wrote entitled, An Idea Whose Time Has Come. Now listen to this title, An Idea Whose Time Has Come. Do you think she was sitting there and going, you know what, I think we've missed something here. I think we've lost something here with the passing of my grandparents, and I think there is an idea whose time has come. In that letter, she broke unity down into 5 basic ideas that make up the unity belief system. Number 5 is stated this way: knowing and understanding the laws of life, also called truth, are not enough. A person must also live the truth that he or she knows. It is not the word Christian that connects unity to the roots of our founders. It is living a spiritually authentic life that does. Living a Christ life. Becoming who our founders were, not just repeating what they were saying. And that is the truth as I experience it. Thank you.
Breathing in and out. Continue to breathe deeply and fully. Become more and more relaxed and peaceful. The Christ in you is peace. The Christ in you is love. The divine love which created you is never separate from you. It is always there. We must use our will to express it. Our message today reminds us to ask, who am I being? How am I showing up? We're reminded to step into the trueness of our nature, into the reality of who we are. We are truth students at Unity because we desire to show up as spiritually authentic people living as the Christ. Who is the Christ in you calling you to be? Are you conscious of yourself and how you show up in the likeness of the Christ? As we daily express the abundance of our divine attributes, we bless others and you bless yourself. What you pour out onto the people in the world is returned to you. You give and you receive. So quietly to yourself, repeat these affirmations. I step into my true nature, which is the Christ. I show up in the likeness of the Christ. I am the light of the world. I am loving and I am loved. I am grateful. So let's ponder these truths for a few moments. As we move into the silence, listen for what the Christ in you is telling you. Know thyself in the silence. as we return into this present moment. Take another deep breath in, release. Wiggle your fingers and toes, opening your eyes. We go forth, committed to be Christian, relating to, resembling, and in the likeness of the Christ. What an amazing honor and duty, which we accept with gratitude. And so it is. So now is the time in our service for you to prepare your tithes and love offerings. And we are very grateful for your support, your tithes, your love offerings, and also all of our amazing people who tithe their time and their talent to our community as well. And I invite you, if you have an offering with you, to hold it in your hands. Whether you're giving online, hold it in your heart as we repeat our blessing together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for the joy of giving and receiving. And we have more music.
When I went online and looked at who our speaker would be today and the things he would be addressing of what is unity, who is unity as a movement, I decided to choose songs today that kind of answered in their titles what we do. We come together in the name of love. We claim our blessings. And this last song kind of describes very adequately for me what we believe, by Ziggy Marley. Love is my religion. Please feel free to sing along, dance if you're feeling it. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. Love is my religion, all right. All my days I've been searching.
religion. Hey, you can take it or leave it, and you don't have to believe it. Well, I'm done searching now. I found out what this life is worth. Not in the books that I find, yeah, but by searching my mind. Ow! I don't condemn, I don't convert. This is the calling, have you heard? Bring all the lovers to the fold, 'cause no one's gonna lose their soul. Oh, 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 love is my religion. 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 You can take it or leave it. Now do you believe?
Awesome, wonderful. Come on up. Oh, we are so grateful for these gifts. And we know that the gift and the giver are one. And we use these gifts and send them forward to expand the love consciousness among ourselves, in the community, and all around the world. And we say, I am grateful 3 times. I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. Thank you. Take it away.
Now for a few more transformational opportunities before we close. At 5 o'clock today, we have our spiritual practice gathering, and today it's going to be Jody Smith, and her topic's about getting unstuck, with tips and tools to get unstuck and move forth on your path. It'll be on Zoom tonight. Next Sunday morning, our very own Unity Minister candidate Cheryl Fair will be our speaker. Yeah. And her title is going to be Calibrate Your Spiritual GPS. So join us both in person and on live stream for that. On Wednesday night, May 26th, this coming Wednesday, our men will be meeting. We'll be meeting here at church in the promenade if it's nice weather, not inside. We'll be talking about some of the things that people are talking about when they have the home gatherings. We're also going to talk about fundraising, maybe having a golf tournament to raise some money for a cause here in Richmond. So men here, please join us. Would you like to release some tension at the end of the week? So get ready for the weekend. Starting May 28th, which is Friday at 5:30 on Zoom, you can participate in chair yoga led by our own Barbie Nunley. Yay. So thank you, Barbie. The 9:30 Sunday spiritual study led by Cheryl Fair is taking a break next Sunday. We'll begin meeting both on Zoom and in person starting June 6th. The group will begin with a book by Linda Martella Whitsitt and her daughter, Elisa Whitsitt, and it's called This Life is Yours, Discover Your Power, Claim Your Wholeness, and Heal Your Life. And I'm sure it's in the bookstore if you'd like to get that and have it for the class. I know several people this morning said they were going to try to come to the class, so that's good. Our prayer chaplains are here to pray with you after the service. Would they please stand, the chaplains? Thank you for being here. Thank you. And you can always call the office and ask for prayer. And to stay in the know about everything, get our weekly e-news, go to the Unity of Bonaire website, and find out what's going on. So thank you very much. I'll turn it back to Susan.
Thank you. I'd like to note, too, that Reverend Martella Whitsitt and Alicia will be sharing a pre-recorded message for us coming to us in July associated with the spiritual study, so that's cool, too. That'll be happening as well. I want to acknowledge a few people. Claudia and the Claudettes over here. Julie, Lucy, and Claudia back in the back. Dan on sound. Veronica and Deb on live stream. Thank you, thank you. We had Mark and Nancy helping with, and Jim with up front and the offering. We had the amazing Howard Green as the service leader. So thank all of you also for being here. I believe this service has now ended. So let's all stand and share the prayer for protection, followed by the peace song. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.